Yo, what's good, YouTube? Beefy Mac here, aka Polo Tries Hard, and today we're going to be going over the patch notes for 26.0 and Rush Royale. Now, first thing I'm going to say about 26.0, it's definitely raising a lot of backlash in the community, especially with the larger players that have spent lots of money. And the reason for that being is that they're essentially trying to make it easier for the game to progress in. As you can see, most people just pretty much work on one legendary deck, and it's a struggle to get your legendary cards up. 26.0, I believe that the main focus of the Rush Royale management is that they want to make it easier for newer players to obtain legendary cards. As it is right now, you basically have to accumulate the legendary cards that you would need to basically upgrade a unit, and then additionally accumulate some magic crystals to basically be able to use those cards to upgrade. But what they're doing in this update is they're basically changing that whole system out and making it to where it is basically a swap system, and you only need the legendary cards. Now, before you guys freak out and you're like, well, what do I do with all my magic crystals? I'll be getting into that later in the video. What's going to happen with all your magic crystals. Don't worry, the game will be compensating you. But another thing I want to touch on at this moment is that they're also going to be removing the Book of Secrets. Now, they basically said in the patch notes that they're very aware that the Book of Secrets is pretty much the only way that you could for sure upgrade a unit that you wanted. Being that the issue is most of the time players were having problems with either they'll have the legendary cards they need but not enough crystals, or the other way around, they'll have plenty of crystals and they're just getting very unlucky with the legendary card pulls. Now they're introducing what seems to be a summoning system, and that basically is going to be run off a currency called bells, I believe, from what the patch note says. And if I read this correctly, it pretty much just entails that every week there's going to be one or two units that are pretty much up for grabs, and you're going to trade in your bells, and I believe it's at 30, 40, and 50 pulls. You're going to get a guaranteed unit. So let me rephrase that. Your first 30 pulls, you're going to get a guaranteed unit of whatever unit you're going for, and then after the next 40, you'll get a guaranteed one, and then from there, it'll be 50. Every 50 you'll get a guaranteed one, but in between there's a chance that you can get one before that. I think this is going to be a great idea. I'm really happy with the changes to Rush Royale. I know it's very controversial. A lot of people don't really like this. The reason being is that a lot of people have spent a lot of money in the game, and they feel like they're going to basically not know what to do with all the extra crystals and whatnot that they have, and they have maxed out cards and whatnot, which I think that is a little bit of a overstatement. Now I understand a lot of people have put a lot of money into the game. This update is not necessarily going to change the fact that you're not going to be losing all your max units that you've gotten if you're one of those guys with 5,000 and 6,000 crit. But they basically just feel like, hey, we spent all this money, but you're changing the system. And basically they feel like they're just not going to be able to get compensated because they already have max of a lot of units, and they feel like they're going to get pointless cards that they don't need. But don't worry, guys, if you're one of those and you're feeling like that, obviously Rush Royale is going to add new cards here and there. They have to do so that way the game stays diverse, and it's also just a way for them to continue the game and keep it interesting. I feel like those players that do have max cards, I think they're going to be pushing out new cards here and there more often. They're making them easier to get. One of the huge things that I'm seeing is that they're going to be making the special event units. All the regular events that come in, Mirror Match, Royal Trials, those events, they're going to be all run off the same currency. So now whatever currency you get from those, you'll basically be able to trade them in for any one of those special units. I think that pretty much makes the special units easier to get, which is nice. But at the same time, I feel like they're going to be dropping new units as time goes by. And those more veteran players who pretty much have most cards maxed out and probably won't benefit from this update where they're essentially trying to make it easier for newer players to get legendary cards. I feel like obviously they're taking it a little bit harsh because, they've invested a lot. But I feel like in the long term, when the new cards come out, they're going to be compensated in a way where they pretty much can max out new cards for little to no money because they've already have so much built up from what they got going for themselves already. I could be wrong on that. But basically, I see this as a great opportunity for the game, especially for new players. I love Rush Royale personally. I play this game every day on stream. If you guys want to come watch me, I stream live, YouTube and Twitch, 2 p.m. Eastern, sometimes 3 p.m. Eastern time, every day. I think this is a great thing for the game because it's going to allow those new players who start playing the game and then about a month in realize, well, this game, it takes too much of a grind to get a legendary card. And I'm over here with my level 9 cultist fighting a max demon hunter. And it just feels unfair. And it's going to take 3 months to get my legendary card to max. Well, with the games, basically, in my eyes, what I see them doing is they're trying to make it more accessible to new players. Make it more friendly in that sense. I can't really say whether it's more free to play or not. We'll have to see as that plays out. But personally, I feel like they're making it a lot more friendly on those newer players who want to progress. And that's really what's going to make this game pop in the long run, is if they make it to where newer players can stay focused on the game longer than 1 or 2 or 3 months before they're like, yo, bro, this is too much. I can't wait 6 months to upgrade my bruiser card or something. So I think this is a positive plus. May not be like the popular opinion, but I do want to see this game grow, and I do think it's a very addictive and fun game. I enjoy making content for it. Usually I wouldn't make videos like this, but I think this was a good one where I could basically talk over the stuff. Moving on, they're going to be changing the armor and adding a new amulet. The amulet of swiftness is going to be creating points on the field that increase damage to all the units on the field evenly for 0.5% damage for each merge tile. So basically every time you merge on the tile, it's going to give you a 0.5% damage bonus to all the units on the board. And the good thing here is the tile is not going to be stagnant in one spot. It's going to swap spaces every time, which could be kind of annoying, but at the same time, I think that's also a cool thing. They're also going to be weakening a lot of the old enchants and also buffing it at the same way. For example, one of the nerfs that they're pulling out that's a controversial one is the amulet of growth. Right now, amulet of growth is pretty much the go-to for every deck. It just gives the most damage. It's pretty consistent. And it's pretty much a no-brainer. That's the only one you pretty much want to go with at all times. But what they're doing is they're changing it to where basically every round that you have a amulet of growth, it will lose 2% of its damage buff. So you basically can't just upgrade it and then it stays for the whole game. You have to continue to keep working on it and progressing on it, which is nice. I like that idea. I feel like the amulet of growth was good. It's really good. I like that they're not taking necessarily like nerfing how much damage it increases you by, but I think this nerf where it takes you down 2% every round is a good one. I like that idea. I think it's fire. I think it's going to keep the players entertained, and it's going to add a new diversity and mechanic to the game. So I like that. I like that. Also, they're going to be adding a whole bunch of new enchants. I have some of them written down here. Starting off, we have Border Guards. Border Guards is basically going to be buffing all your corner units. They're going to get more damage for being in the corner. So if you're playing, like, let's say left side Crystal Mancer Archimist, if that's, I believe, what it's called, this would be good for that deck. Moving on, they have Brotherhood 1 and 2. These are just the new enchants I'm going to be going over. They're also adding like new levels to old enchants, which is cool as well, but I'm just going to go over the new ones, try to keep this video short. So the second one that I read is Brotherhood. It's going to come in Brotherhood 1 and Brotherhood 2. And basically this one reads as, upon receiving a negative effect, all units of the same faction gain a temporary bonus in damage. So let's say you're playing Demon Hunter and your demon hunter gets hit with a witch or loses a merge rank or something, all the other demon hunters will basically get a damage buff for a short period of time, which is to be decided how much of a buff. We'll see how it goes. It sounds pretty interesting. I like Brotherhood. Moving on, we have Astral. And this one basically reads, instead of losing a rank, unit becomes stunned. So essentially, if you were to get shamaned by your unit and he was about to lose a merge rank, let's say you're playing Inquisitor and you only got Dark Inquisitor merge rank 6 on the board, and he somehow gets hit with a shaman and he's gonna go to merge rank 5, there's a chance that it will just stun instead of you losing that merge rank. I think that's cool. That's kind of like a counter spell sort of thing. Nice. Okay. Maybe like the bootleg counter spell. I mean, good idea. I'd like to see how these new enchants being added into the pool is going to change your chances of getting other enchants. Like, let's say counter spell might go down and your chance of getting it. But yo, new enchants, definitely a great idea. Moving on, we have spell doubling. Whenever a faction unit is absorbed or loses a rank, there's a chance that a level 1 unit spawns. This one is very interesting in my opinion. I really like this one. I feel like this is going to be a scrapper player's wet dream. Essentially, it's saying that you're basically getting a free unit every time that you're eating something, and there's a chance you get a free unit. So if you're using scrapper and you're just eating units all the time, I'm pretty sure like having free merge rank 1 units just spawning in from time to time is going to be huge. I really like this one, and I want to see where it goes from here. Spell doubling, I'm excited. I'll probably be going for that on my armor because I'm a big scrapper fan. As you guys know, I'm not really too fond of Dryad. But yeah, I'm going to definitely be keeping up on spell doubling. The next one we have is reverse. When an effect applies where a merge rank is lowered, the affected unit gains damage. Now, this one is kind of similar to Brotherhood. Brotherhood basically says, upon receiving negative effect, all units of the same faction gain a temporary bonus. So that would be like multiple units. This one is more or less just that singular unit that's getting hit with the negative effect. They're also going to be adding a new item to the game. Basically a heroic item. From what I read, it looks like this is going to basically be like the duck and other heroic items. But from what this says is it lowers the cooldown of a hero for every time you upgrade it by 0.5%. So I'm not sure if this is a new item itself or if it's just an currency for upgrading your heroic items, which is cool. I like to see the 0.5% decrease in time for everyone. I'm pretty sure people's going to be grinding this. I like this. It gives new incentives in the game. Also, with it being paired up with like them just making it easier to progress. I like this. They're also going to be adding new rewards to the daily bonuses, all those daily quests, all that good stuff. You're going to be getting new and improved, better rewards. They're really pushing out, trying to make it more playable for new players, which I love the idea. I want to see this game grow. The huge one here for you guys that you probably heard me say in the beginning of the video was there's going to be no more magic crystals and no more books. Now, hold on to your horses, guys. I know some of you out there have 15 crystals, 12 crystals saved up, and you're probably wondering, well, what's going to happen to them? Don't worry. The game has devised something. From what I read, basically, every magic crystal you have will probably be traded into a random legendary unit. So you guys can take that with a grain of salt. If you maybe have some legendary units right now that you don't like, let's say you have a bunch of stasis or clock cards that you're sitting around with, maybe consider scrapping them now for magic crystals, and then you could possibly get a reroll with the better legendary unit when they compensate us for our magic crystals. And then the next big one here is the Book of Secrets. Now, up until now, Book of Secrets has been the only way you can really upgrade legendary units, like consistently. Or you could actually be like, yo, in 6 weeks, I'm going to get my next book. And I'll be able to upgrade Genie to Merge Rank 15, like I am right now. Basically, they're taking that system out. They don't like the book idea. I personally always felt like they made it accessible for, pages of secrets at high tier players. For right now in the game, you have to be 8,000 trophies to be able to buy a page of secrets in the shop, which I thought was crazy. I was just talking with somebody about that, and I said, why would they make it like that when the players that need a book of secrets the most is usually like a newer player trying to build their stuff? So I want to see how this is going to play out. But if you have even one page of secrets right now, what's going to end up happening after the update is you guys are going to get a quest. Upon completion of this quest, you will receive a book of secrets, and I believe that is the last one you will be able to get in the game. So if you guys want to keep it for a souvenir, that's on you. I know mine will be instantly going to upgrade Genie. It is what it is. If I don't have a book and I can't have one on my account just to show it off, I'm an OG. Yo, it is what it is. I need my Genie, guys. Moving on here, obviously everybody knows the archer's going to be getting talents. I'm not going to go over the archer talents, but there's also other units that are getting talents. That's going to be fire. I'm enjoying that idea. I'll probably be making videos when they come out, showcasing the talents. If you guys don't know, I stream daily, and I oftentimes like to play Bozo decks with viewers. Bozo decks to me is basically when I play decks that are just random and they're like completely just, non-meta. Those are the type of decks I have fun playing with my viewers. So I like when these lower units, beginner units in quotations, get these talents and whatnot, because it adds some more content for me, makes it more fun on me as well. And I'm excited to see the archer. I want to see where he stacks up against Crystal Mancer, Reaper, maybe even Vampire, because those are some good units that are not legendary. So yeah, I definitely want to see how Archer plays out. I'm excited. Basically, he's probably going to get like an exploding arrow or something. I read it over a little bit, not too focused on the talents. We'll see that how it goes. Also, the game is going to be adding more experiment coins in the loot pools. This is probably because they're changing the system where it's basically you just trade in legendary cards to upgrade legendary units. So essentially what I think is they're just giving you more experiment coins, so that way you can trade out. Maybe let's say you have a max bruiser right now and you want to upgrade your card, your Inquisitor, for example, and you have 3 extra bruiser cards sitting on the side. I'm assuming they want to give us more cards to swap out, so that way we can basically get whatever card we want easier. Awesome idea. I like that. And then the new currency they're adding into the game, which is the magic bells. Basically how this was worded is that every week there's going to be 1 or 2 units in the shop. You're going to be able to trade magic bells to try to summon the legendary unit. You're going to get a guaranteed unit after 30 pulls, after an additional 40 from there, and then after an additional 50 from that point on. This is a bit weird. I don't understand this 100%. I want to see what the chances are of getting it. I like the whole idea. It's a lot of RNG here, but let's be honest, Rush Royale is all about randomness. That's what makes it so addictive and fun. I love this game a lot. And lastly, what I want to cover here is they're going to be changing the ranking system. There's not really much information on this yet, but basically they're changing the ranking system to a division system in quotations. So basically, as the updates come out, I'll obviously, be spreading the information as it comes. But right now, that's all I know. The ranking system will be changed. Probably not a trophies thing anymore. If it is trophies, they're probably going to change it up. I'm excited for that as well. I feel like the 7,000, 8,000 thing with contender and champion, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool and all, but I really want to see a division. I want to see how this goes. I like the updates. I like that the devs are hands-on in the game, and they're looking at it long-term. While they may not make everybody happy with the choices, they're looking at it in a way where they're trying to grow their game and get more players. And I like that idea. Good play in that sense. But as for the old players who have maxed everything out and spent lots of money, I feel bad for them in a sense, but at the end of the day, anybody who truly loves this game will understand that, hey, listen, it's a good game. They want to see it grow. A lot of these people who have spent lots of money on the game, they are content creators in the game, so keep that in mind as well. They obviously may have creator codes, some of them and whatnot, and get some of their money back. Probably not even a smidgen of what they've spent, but at the end of the day, you have to look at it like this. We want the game to grow. We want more players. We want more player retention. I love Rush Royale. I think this is an amazing game. If you guys also think this is an amazing game, I need you to hit that like button and subscribe. I stream daily. And other than that, if you guys are excited for 26.0, leave a comment down below. Which one of the new enchants are you most excited to see? Me, personally, it's going to be spell doubling. I really want to see that going. And until next time, chat, keep it beefy.